Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5 p.m. Before we get started, I wanted to acknowledge that the land in which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. We affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. The first motion by Deputy Mayor Laughlin, seconded by Councillor Stakilo, be it resolved that the regular council meeting agenda be amended as follows. We have one addition to the agenda, item 5A, and we're moving item 9A to item 8A, just as a bookkeeping change. All in favor of that motion indicate? Yeah, anyone opposed? No, carried. And moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Daly, that we accept the agenda as amended. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Laughlin, seconded by Councillor Stakilo, be it resolved that council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the last council meeting, and that's the regular meeting from April the 7th. All those in favor of that resolution? Yeah, opposed? Carried. And a motion by Deputy Mayor Laughlin and seconded by Councillor Ray. Whereas the Municipal Act, Section 160, bracket 2 states, each member of the council must attend the public hearing unless the member is excused by other members from attending the hearing, is unable to attend, or is required under the Municipal Council Conflict of Interest Act to withdraw from the hearing. Be resolved that council excuses the following council members from today's meeting. And as Councillor Sobring is late, he's the only one who's physically not here right now. Councillor Bellemare is online. So we'll just add the Councillor Sobring's name to this, and we'll move that. Now, motion is by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be resolved that we now adjourn to hear the public hearing as scheduled. All in favor? Yay, and away we go. So we have two items today for our public hearing. We have a conditional use application 12.08.3736160 / CU 250101 for 84 Riverside Road. And we also have Mike Sversco online joining the meeting. And I believe that Brandon is going to be speaking on behalf of this. Yep, go ahead. You just come up to the table, please, Brandon, and click on the mic so that the red light comes on.
Okay. Good evening, Your Worship, councillors, staff, and residents of Dauphin. I'm here today representing Horizon Builders, which is representing Willow Lake Properties, and also Harvey Armstrong and the Super 8 Group, who is the current owner of the land. The land purchase and transfer is currently underway, so at some point we'll be able to drop Harvey and the Super 8 Group off of these communications, but for now he is still part of the project. So what we're proposing for this conditional use and development is a multiple phase residential multifamily building. I'm not sure how familiar the group is with what we've done so far. I know we've met with a smaller group earlier this year. So
I can just let you know, Brandon, that all of council has gotten site plans, the elevations, the expression of interest, basically the information that you give to us, we give to them.
okay, excellent. So I guess there's not much for us to say. We are working with various members of the City of Dauphin on the civil plans, so the site tie-ins, the effects on land drainage and things like that. As always, we're looking to be very cooperative and collaborative with the City of Dauphin, because after all, it's your residents that'll be the clients of this project. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Or Mike, I see you're on the line. If there's anything else you'd like to add?
No, nothing at this time.
Brandon, is anyone else, Harvey or anyone else, want to speak in favor of the use before we'll turn it over to council for questions, if there are any? Are there any questions from any members of council about the application? Mike, any comments from Public Works side of things?
No, none at this time. I think everyone, the memo states we'll need a development agreement and we'll start working on that shortly, I'm sure. So
Yeah, so just the information that council received, it looks like, you guys are in complete agreement with all the things that we need, and the discussion went really well. So
Yeah.
there's nothing really to say. Councillor Bellamere, I didn't want to ignore you. I know you're online. Is there any questions that you might have?
No, I don't have any questions. I think it's pretty clear and it's really exciting because this is really something we need in our community.
Good. We're glad to hear that.
I don't see anyone in the room to speak opposed unless Lori, just for lack of, no, I'm sorry. Just never, we have a history. No, sorry. But no, Brandon, is there anything else in conclusion that you wanted to add?
No, thank you for your support on this. If any members of council or of course the staff should all have our contact information, feel free to reach out directly, or if some of you might know Mike better than anybody, so he's also happy to speak about the project as well.
And so I'm assuming based on council's response that there aren't any objections to this from, we haven't had any of the discussion that way, but soon, in the sense of just you guys are ready to hit the ground and get going?
We're don't want to speak too far out of turn, but we're currently working on our Class C drawings, which will allow us to budget. We would be looking to split and do a separate civil and foundation permit, separate from the building, just to give us more time and also allow us to get into the ground earlier.
Right.
So we've sent off some questions to your Public Works Department. Hope to be working very close with them over the next few weeks. And ideally, we're starting to push piles into the ground mid to late summer this year.
Okay, excellent. All right, so if there aren't any other questions from any members of council, we'll declare this portion of the public hearing closed. Thank you very much. And we'll move to the next item of today's public hearing, and that's conditional use application 1202-074000 CU 250101 for a development on 2nd Avenue Northeast. And Rick Kernel is going to speak on behalf of that. Go ahead, Rick.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Yeah, I'm speaking for Napa. We want to demolish the old house we use there for storage now. That is outlived its use.
The old Bresdine house.
The old Brethren house, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, in some ways it'd be sad to see it go, but yeah, we need a bigger facility. We just don't have the room anymore. We want to build a 30 by 40 building there, 12-foot high ceilings, metal clad walls, heated. We'll need water. Want to be able to wash our vehicles in there sometimes, and drainage. We floor drain inside. So yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, and council received all the information and the report from our building department. Any questions? Do you have anything else, or is there any questions from council about this plan? Mike or Charlotte, anything you wanted to add from an engineering side of things? No? Anyone, I just have to ask a question. Anyone here opposed to or would speak contrary to the application? Seeing none? No? That's it? Thanks. See how quick this is?
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
no, yeah, we just, again, that representation for the second public hearing is now closed.
Great, thank you.
And council will deliberate after, but there's no opposition to either application, so I would assume that we can do that now? Okay.
We are prepared. Council's prepared to, if council's prepared to discuss, deliberate, and vote on it,
Okay,
we can do
so
that now.
on the first application then,
What we'll do, we'll just keep reading on the book because we've laid it out for you.
okay, so moved by Councillor Ray and seconded by Deputy Mayor Lachlan. Be resolved that council now reconvenes to our regular council meeting. Just gonna fix something back over here. Sorry.
Nope, that actually has to.
This
stay
has to
because
stay?
it wasn't here.
Okay. Okay. and moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that the public hearing for conditional use application 1208-373-160 CU 250101 for owner 3713718 Manitoba Limited, Dauphin Super 8, and that's care of Harvey Armstrong, and applicant Willow Lake Properties, care of Mike Seversco and Horizon Builders for Lot 1, Plan 46387, which is 84 Riverside Road, to allow multifamily planned unit development in a commercial mixed zone is now concluded. Call for the question. All in favor? Is carried. Moved by Councillor Daly and seconded by Deputy Mayor Lachlan. Be resolved that the public hearing for conditional use application 1202-074-000 CU 250102 for the owner and the applicant, Napa Auto Parts, Advic Bearing and Auto, for lot 18 and 19, block 32, plan 243, which is 109 2nd Avenue Northeast, to allow warehouse use with the storage for products, supplies, and goods within an enclosed building in a commercial central zone be now concluded. All in favor of that recommendation, application? Anyone opposed? That motion is carried. And then finally, two more, moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Daly. Whereas due notice was given with respect to conditional use application 1308-373-160 CU 250101, and whereas no objections were received, be resolved that this application be approved with the following conditions. The owner and municipality enter into a development agreement that includes but is not limited to the terms and conditions for the development of the land and the construction, design, and cost responsibility of municipal services, that the requirement for a professional engineer design to address infrastructure issues, including servicing, drainage, access, and responsibility for costs, the details of the phases of construction with confirmation of design and layout, and the proposed and future responsibilities of the development, that the owners obtain a utility easement to accommodate other utilities such as hydro, MTS, and Westman Communications, which will be required to service the area and will include costs and responsibilities for construction and design. Sure, go ahead.
Just want to advise that Councillor Sobering is not eligible to vote because he did not attend the public hearing.
Thank you. And so all in favor of the resolution? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, that is carried. Do this one more time for all you folks that are sitting here eager to get home. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Ray. Whereas due notice was given with respect to the conditional use application 1202-074-000 CU 250102, and whereas no objections to this application were received, this application will then be approved with these following conditions, and there are four of them. A building permit will be required from the city for the construction of the new structure. Construction shall comply with the Manitoba Building Code, and certified plans must be submitted prior to the issuance of the permit. The new warehouse will require a new service branch connection from the street lines to the building. The cost of this connection will be the responsibility of the property owner. The applicant is responsible for lot surface drainage affecting the lot, and any site drainage is to be resolved in consultation and cooperation with adjacent property owners. And finally, the owner is responsible for the cost of any new approach or relocation of existing approaches, including the maintenance of such.
I'll advise the same information to Councillor Sobering.
Call for the question then. All those in favor of this resolution, please indicate. Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. We're done. The official work is over and we're approved. So thank you for participating. And we look forward to the new development and all the new taxes the city will receive future down the road. Just saying, we like development. Thank you very much for coming today. And you can stay for the rest of the meeting, but you are probably free to go if Lori's already got her hands on the chair. See? No. So thank you very much. The conditional use part of the agenda is done.
Thank you.
Great. All right, people, we'll move right along. We'll move to the consent agenda. And we've got a couple of things that are included today. We have a couple of action items, several outstanding receivable accounts added to taxes. We have three different properties, two for weed control and one for untidy property fine. So roll 0074400 in the amount of $271.46. That's on weed control. Same with roll 0154700, $206.09. And roll number 0165200, $52.55, and that's an untidy property fine. That's recommended by the Director of Finance and the Tax Clerk. We have several proclamations today. Sean, undo your shoes and relax because this is going to take a while. So we'll start with the proclamation for Red Dress Day.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas May 5th is recognized across Canada as Red Dress Day, a day to honor and remember missing or murdered Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirited people, and to stand in solidarity with their families and communities. And whereas the red dress has become a powerful symbol of the lives lost and the ongoing fight for justice, truth, and accountability for the violence disproportionately experienced by Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirit people. And whereas the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls has revealed persistent human rights violations and abuses and issued 231 calls for justice directed at governments, institutions, and all Canadians. And whereas Red Dress Day provides an opportunity for reflection, education, and collective action to address the systemic issues including racism, colonialism, and gender-based violence, and to work towards reconciliation and healing. And whereas the City of Dauphin is committed to truth, reconciliation, and fostering safe and inclusive communities for all people and supports the efforts of local Indigenous leaders, families, and organizations working to honor the lives and legacies of those lost. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim May 5th, 2025 as Red Dress Day in the City of Dauphin and encourage all residents to reflect, learn, and take action in support of truth, reconciliation, and justice for Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirit people.
Thank you, Councillor Ray. We have so many proclamations, I have to read one. Whereas harm reduction is an evidence-based, compassionate approach that seeks to reduce the negative consequences associated with substance use, promote public health, and uphold the dignity of all individuals. And whereas harm reduction strategies, including access to safe consumption spaces, naloxone distribution, overdose prevention education, and support services saves lives and contribute to healthier communities. And whereas people who use substances deserve respect, care, and access to health and social services without stigma, judgment, or discrimination. And whereas harm reduction initiatives support individuals, families, and communities by reducing the risk of overdose, bloodborne infections, and other health challenges, while also fostering a pathway to recovery and well-being. And whereas municipalities have a role in promoting harm reduction efforts by working collaboratively with public health agencies, community organizations, and first responders to create safer, more inclusive communities. And whereas International Harm Reduction Day is recognized worldwide as a time to raise awareness, challenge misconceptions, and advocate for policies that prioritize harm reduction and public health. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do proclaim May the 7th as International Harm Reduction Day and encourage all residents to learn more about harm reduction, support local harm reduction initiatives, and work towards a community that prioritizes health, safety, and a compassion for all, dated this date in the province of Manitoba. Moving all on, we have Emergency Preparedness Week as the next proclamation. That's Councillor.
Thank you. Whereas natural disasters may be beyond our control, but there are ways to reduce the risk and the impact of whatever emergency we may face. And whereas Emergency Preparedness Week encourages Canadians to take concrete actions to be better prepared to protect themselves and their families during emergencies. And whereas this special week is a national effort led by Public Safety Canada, provincial and territorial emergency management organizations, Indigenous organizations, non-governmental organizations, and the private sector. And whereas by taking a few simple steps, you can become better prepared to face a range of emergencies anytime, anywhere, and it is important to know the risks, although the consequences of disasters can be similar. Knowing the risks specific to our community and our region can help you better prepare. Make a plan. It will help you and your family know what to do. Get an emergency kit. During an emergency, we will all need some basic supplies, as we will need to get by without power or tap water. So be prepared to be self-sufficient for at least 72 hours in an emergency. And whereas more resources to help you and your family prepare for all types of emergencies can be found by visiting getprepared.ca. And whereas experience has shown that individual preparedness goes a long way to help people cope better, both during and after a major disaster. And whereas this week, the City of Dauphin encourages all residents to take concrete actions to be better prepared. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Dauphin do hereby proclaim May 4th to 10th, 2025 as Emergency Preparedness Week, dated at the City of Dauphin in the province of Manitoba this 28th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Councillor Stakilo. Safety and Health Week proclamation is next. That's Councillor Sobering.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas creating and maintaining safe and healthy workplaces is essential to the productivity, well-being, and morale of all employees, and whereas Safety and Health Week is observed across Canada to raise awareness about the importance of preventing injury and illness in the workplace through education, training, and proactive measures, and whereas this week provides an opportunity for employers and workers to reflect on the importance of occupational health and safety and to renew their commitment to fostering a culture of prevention. And whereas the City of Dauphin recognizes that the effective safety programs, strong leadership, and the active participation of all employees are key to eliminating hazards and reducing risks in the workplace. And whereas promoting workplace safety and health benefits everyone by protecting lives, supporting mental and physical well-being, reducing lost time, and enhancing overall performance. Therefore, we declare May 5th to 10th Safety and Health Week. Thank you.
Thank you. The next proclamation is Lyme disease awareness. No? Oh,
I have it.
I was just trying to jump past Councillor Daly just to speed things up, but go ahead,
All right.
Councillor Daly.
Okay. Thank you very much. Whereas Lyme disease is a serious illness caused by the bite of infected black-legged ticks, and its symptoms can have significant impacts on the health and well-being of those affected if left undiagnosed or untreated. And whereas public awareness of Lyme disease, including understanding its symptoms, prevention strategies, and the importance of early diagnosis and treatment, is critical to reducing the risks associated with this growing public health concern. And whereas the number of reported cases of Lyme disease has been increasing in Manitoba and across Canada, emphasizing the need for proactive education and prevention measures, especially during the spring and summer months when ticks are most active. And whereas recognizing May as Lyme Disease Awareness Month provides an opportunity to support ongoing public health efforts, promote tick safety practices, and encourage individuals to be vigilant when enjoying outdoor spaces. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Lyme Disease Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Daly. That's it, right? Is there another one? There is another one?
There should be a CMHA Mental Health Week proclamation as well. Does anyone have it?
You got it? Oh, okay, there you go.
Deputy Mayor Laughlin, you didn't turn on your red light.
I was waiting to be called upon. So
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I don't want to overlook you.
No, that's okay. Thank you. Whereas Canadian Mental Health Association Mental Health Week promotes mental health awareness through education campaigns, activities, and events, and offers practical ways to maintain and improve mental health and support recovery from mental health problems and illnesses. And whereas people are faced with worrying levels of stress, anxiety, and loneliness heightened by social inequality, the affordability crisis, and ongoing climate concerns. And whereas this year's CMHA campaign, Unmasking Mental Health encourages open and honest conversations about mental health, raising awareness about the impact of masking mental health struggles, and promoting vulnerability to foster deeper connections and well-being. And whereas the Canadian Mental Health Association actively supports and encourages good mental health in all aspects of our lives during CMHA Mental Health Week and throughout the year. And now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim May 5th to the 11th, 2025 as CMHA Mental Health Week.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Lachlan. I'm just wondering, is that the most proclamations at any time? Or, because I know Councillor Bellamere would love to read one too, and we don't. Maybe next meeting, if we can get 7? Sean? Yeah. All right. Let's, we'll discuss that at a later time. We've got a number of filing items. Yeah, we have some filing items. We have the Prairie Mountain Health new Board of Directors appointments list, Manitoba Association of Watersheds, their newsletter for April, Intermountain Watershed District notification about their upcoming water festival, Mountain View School Division's news digest in April, Celebrate Canada grant information from Canadian Heritage. We have information from the Minister of Environment and Climate Change regarding waste reduction and recycling, their support program, and several Manitoba news releases from the Premier regarding the grant for Dauphin's Country Fest, which was very good news, and from Health Seniors and Long-Term Care, the Advanced Care Paramedic Program in rural Manitoba, and then finally a notice from Parks Canada about their prescribed burning in Riding Mountain National Park this spring and summer. And those are all the information from the consent agenda. Moved by Councillor Stakilo and seconded by Deputy Mayor Lachlan. Be it resolved that all items listed and read under the consent agenda be approved and form part of these minutes. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Sobring. Be it resolved that we accept as information the corporate report for today's meeting from the ICT manager for the month of March. Any questions or comments regarding anything in that report? Call for the question then. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that the finance accounts being examined by council hereby be authorized and approved. We had 86 checks in the recent check run, totaling $544,664.74, and there were 5 electronic fund transfers totaling $46,650.83. There were no voided checks in either the current or the past range, and there were 7 electronic payments in the month of March, totaling $188,031.02. Call for the question of financial reports. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that we accept the engineering staff report for today's meeting from the building inspector, and that's for the month of March. Any questions or comments regarding the building inspector's report? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be resolved that we accept as information the minutes and reports from the following committees: the Fort Dauphin Museum, their regular board meeting of March the 5th, and their manager's report from dated April the 2nd, and the regular board meeting of the Intermountain Watershed District meeting of March the 20th. Questions or comments? Seeing none, call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Ray. Whereas municipalities across Manitoba increasingly are facing hate-based and violent threats, disruptions, and the spread of misinformation, which threatens the safety, well-being, and effective functioning of local governments, be it resolved that we accept as information a member advisory dated April 22nd from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, encouraging municipalities to assess and report their experiences to support advocacy efforts for safer and more respectful governance environments, and further be resolved that Council reaffirms its commitment to fostering a safe and respectful environment for all elected representatives and employees, and encourages the completion of the AMM online survey to assist in addressing and responding to these growing challenges. Questions or comments regarding this resolution? I'd just like to comment that our council, relative to what I've heard at so many discussions at AMM about the behavior of certain council members of other municipalities and the challenges that that faces councils, I just want to acknowledge the tremendous positive working environment we've had here at City Hall the last couple of years, and particularly the relationship between senior staff and council and vice versa. Call for the question then. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin and seconded by Councillor Daly. Whereas at their regular meeting of December the 9th, 2024, Council supported the City of Dauphin's request to the Manitoba Water Services Board to provide technical and financial assistance to assist the city's water and sanitary system and its capacity to accommodate anticipated future developments in Dauphin. And whereas in February, the Manitoba Water Services Board approved this request and estimated the water and sewer capacity assessment study to cost $90,000 to be cost shared with the city under a 50-50 agreement. Be it resolved that Council accepts this information, a cost-sharing agreement between the Water Services Board and the city for a water and sewer capacity assessment study, and a memo dated April 22nd from the Director of Public Works noting that the Manitoba Water Services Board will provide project management services to assess the city's water distribution network and sewer collection system to meet the growth in new areas of potential development, and recommending that the agreement be approved. Further be resolved that Council agrees with the recommendations by the Director of Public Works and Operations and authorizes the cost-sharing agreement with the Water Services Board for the capacity assessment study to be signed and sealed by the Mayor and Manager on behalf of the City. And further be resolved that Council authorizes payment of the city's share of the project costs in the amount of $45,000 with funds drawn from the Utility Operating Fund pending approval of the 2025 financial plan. Questions or comments regarding this? Mike, is there anything you wanted to add detail-wise? No? Okay, call for the question then. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Whereas the City of Dauphin posted an RFP for the 2025 road improvement program on April the 2nd, which closed on April the 18th, be it resolved that Council accepts this information, a memo dated April 22nd from the Engineering Services Supervisor outlining 2 proposals were received for the road improvement program and recommending the following contract to be awarded the project. That's Maple Leaf Construction for a total proposed cost of $781,047.25 plus taxes. Further be resolved that Council agrees with the Engineering Services Supervisor's recommendation and authorizes the program contract to be awarded to Maple Leaf Construction for that said amount, pending approval of the 2025 financial plan. Questions or comments regarding this? No? Mike, Charlotte, anything? No? All in favor? Any opposition? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin, seconded by Councillor Daly, whereas Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure, MTI, owns and operates all traffic signals within the City of Dauphin and will consider signal upgrades within their funding plans upon receipt of a council resolution. Be resolved that council accepts this information, correspondence dated March 14th from a Dauphin resident who is visually impaired, and requested that accessible pedestrian signals be installed at 2 intersections, 1st Street Northwest and 2nd Avenue Northwest, and Mountain Road and River Avenue. And a memo dated April 22nd from the Director of Public Works and Operations recommending that the request be submitted to MTI for the installation of these pedestrian signals. Further be resolved that Council agrees with the recommendation of the Director of Public Works and Operations and supports the request for MTI to update and upgrade the pedestrian signals at the 2 intersections previously mentioned. Questions or comments regarding this resolution? All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Deputy Mayor Loughlin, whereas the city values the contribution of student employees and recognizes the need to offer competitive wages to attract and retain quality candidates, and to remain competitive with regional student employment opportunities, be it resolved that council approves a wage range of $18 to $20 per hour for City of Dauphin student employees for 2025, allowing administration to remunerate students based on their experience, level of education, performance, and years of service. Questions or comments regarding this resolution? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Whereas enhanced exterior lighting is a key principle of crime prevention through environmental design, which aims to deter criminal activity and promote safer, more welcoming neighborhoods through environmental adaptations, be it resolved that council accepts as information correspondence from Richard Ives, coordinator of Dauphin Citizens on Patrol, requesting a letter of support to include in the Citizens on Patrol funding and grant application for a Light Up the Night initiative, which includes the distribution of up to 200 solar lights to residents in our community, thereby encouraging well-lit properties, crime deterrence, and a stronger sense of community. Further be resolved that council appreciates the efforts of the Citizens on Patrol group in enhancing safety in Dauphin's neighborhoods and authorizes a letter supporting this campaign. Questions or comments regarding this? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that we accept as information an invitation from the Brandon Chamber of Commerce, the State of the Province Luncheon on the May 15th of this year. I know I went to that last year. I don't know, Councillor. Yeah, so a couple of other councillors were there. I'm unavailable this year, but if anybody else is interested in going, please indicate. So further be resolved that all expenses related to council and senior management attending this event be borne by the City of Dauphin. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, be resolved that council accepts information regarding the following two community events: the Friendship Center Cultural Wellness Day, which is scheduled for May the 2nd, and the Northwest Métis Council Red Dress Day Walk, which is scheduled on May the 5th. All in favor of this resolution? Anyone opposed? Carried. And we're moving right along. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be resolved that we accept the information the councillors' reports for today's meeting. Sean, where should we start? Councillor Ray is up.
What a choice. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Sean. April 7th, I attended our last regular meeting. On the 11th in the morning, I attended the special meeting at City Hall regarding the CN turntable. Later that evening, I took in the volunteer appreciation night held at the Dauphin Friendship Center. April 15th, 16th, I was in Winnipeg at AMM. On the 15th, we had a Teams meeting to plan for the upcoming stakeholder meeting dealing with the rec. April 22nd, 23rd, I took part in the budget deliberations held here at City Hall. 24th, we had our CSWB Teams meeting with CCFSC, who provided us with data results from our city survey. April 25th, Councillor Daly and I attended the Sharps Committee Teams meeting. And this afternoon, I attended the Community Safety Wellbeing Teams meeting. Just a couple things from our band committee. The jazz band is having their final concert May 13th at the Watson Arts Center. And the concert band is tentatively scheduled to have their May 21st concert at the DRCSS. And also a reminder, our spring community cleanup will be held from 1 to 3 p.m. on May 7th in conjunction with International Harm Reduction Day. Volunteers are asked to meet at CN Park prior to the event to receive information and clean up kits. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Ray. Deputy Mayor Lachlan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My report probably won't be as busy as Councillor Ray's, as I've been a little occupied with something else. I'm pretty sure everyone can guess what that is. April 7th, I attended the regular council meeting here at City Hall. I was unable to attend the budget meetings due to things going on, but I just wanted to thank staff for getting packages with clear information in them to me. I was able to come in before the meetings and give my thoughts, and obviously push that to council for the meetings those nights. So thank you very much to the staff for that. A couple things coming up here this weekend. Country Fest Business Expo. Really looking forward to that. Sounds like it's sold out. And just going off of that as well, I want to give a big kudos to Dauphin Rec Services. They've done a great job over the last week and then the coming week as well of just utilizing not only Credit Union Place, but the whole facility as well. Just turning it over yesterday, the Kings played Game 5 of the MJHL Final. That game started at 6:50 with warm-ups. At about 3:30, the floor was completely down and Zerka was holding their end-of-year dance recital. So they turned the whole thing over in about 3 hours' time. So just want to say thanks very much to the staff for utilizing Credit Union Place. And of course, it's going to be again utilized this weekend when the floor gets put back over the ice for the Business Expo. So just another reason why recreation is so important for both the city of Dauphin, the rural municipality, the parkland, and really throughout the entire region for lots of people to enjoy. And I guess there's an election tonight, but we won't talk too much about that. So that ends my report.
Thank you. Councillor Bellemare, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. Yes, okay. For council work on April 7th, I attended the regular council meeting and then I attended the 2 budget meetings. And on the 24th, you attended the meeting regarding our community safety and well-being plan. And just to note that I think there were 975 responses, which is a 9% response rate, which is very high for surveys. So they were really impressed. And then we have a big meeting on May 5th where we're in person and we're going to roll up our sleeves and start coming up with a plan. In terms of community events, the city has done a good job getting out ads about the community yard sale that's coming up at the end of the month. And, people are to get in their participation notifications to the city so they can be put on their map. But when people are sorting their treasures, we're asking that you consider donating art that you no longer want to a used art sale that we're having this fall at the Watson. And just in case people are wondering what art is, I have a little list. It can be sculpture, stained glass, quilting, needlecraft items, watercolors, wood carvings, etc., etc. So all kinds of things fall into that. Original pieces, basically. So it's a fundraiser for the Watson. So we're hoping people will contact the Watson with items they want to donate. And I too would like to thank the staff for all the work that they did in getting that budget prepared. Pages and pages of numbers, and everything was clear and easy to follow, and it certainly guided the process well. So I appreciate that. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Sticilo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For myself, April 7th, regular council meeting. On April 8th, attended the State of the District address over at the Aspen Lodge. On the 11th, was here for the turntable discussion with the Rail Museum folks. On the 15th and 16th, AMM in Winnipeg. And then on the 15th there, we had, as Councillor Ray mentioned, the DRS stakeholders meeting while we were in Winnipeg there. On the 17th, airport budget meeting. And then the 22nd, the utility budget meeting. And the 23rd, the general fund budget meeting. And I too just want to echo my fellow councillors' comments just in terms of staff having everything prepared and just being nimble because, during some of those discussions, we were throwing out numbers and discussions and things were changing on the fly. And it's just, it's very nice that staff can be that adaptable and nimble when we're, putting out ideas and changing things just on the fly there. And then earlier today during the lunch hour, we had an economic development meeting. And then I too just want to echo what Deputy Mayor Lachlan was mentioning about the DRS staff and being able to turn things over quickly there. And we're really fortunate to have the facilities that we do and the staff that we have. And again, just being able to accommodate on short notice and get things done. It's really a huge benefit to our city and the region. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Councillor Daly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. April 7th, regular council meeting. April 11th, I too attended the turntable discussion meeting here at City Hall. On April 22nd, I had a short meeting at the Warm Safe Space regarding how they made out during the Easter weekend and got up to speed on some of their stats and things that are going on there. April 22nd, 23rd, budget meetings here at City Hall. April 25th with Councilor Ray attended the Sharps Committee meeting. And also want to encourage people, as Ted mentioned, to show up and volunteer a little bit if you can squeeze in a couple hours on May 7th to help with cleanup. And there's going to be some educational stuff going on there too at CN Park at the same time. And I too want to thank staff for not just the budget meeting, but generally overall. And I know I've said this a number of times, but I feel like council and staff here are at a pro level caliber, as opposed to things that we've seen around the province that are not quite the same. And for me, I really appreciate being able to work with a group at this caliber. It makes life a little easier. And that's my report. Thank you.
Councillor Sobering.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Apologies for my lateness today. I was at the previous council meeting on the 7th. I attended the AMM as well in Winnipeg. It was pretty good to see all the other councils across the province there and similar issues and concerns that we all face. I was at the the budget meeting as well. I also want to show my appreciation for the staff. That is a difficult, tedious, very lots of heavy lifting to do that, and adjusting on the fly, and just everybody working together for the better outcome of the entire community. Over the Easter weekend, I attended the Assiniboine College's Easter egg hunt at Mamawi Park. It was lots of fun. There was about 300 participants there, and I was a little concerned about the mud and the water. The children were not. They just like actual children. They just plowed right through everything and could care less. And they were very excited to eat chocolates and collect eggs. So that was awesome. I love seeing that. And this afternoon, I attended the economic development meeting. And it's always a good meeting. Lots of things happening. Spring is here, and I feel like that has a added energy and enthusiasm of getting things done. So I think we're going to have another busy summer ahead. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Councillor Sobering. There's just a couple things I'll add quickly before we wrap. AMM was, interesting event, but I just wanted to note publicly the presentation by the Justice Minister, Matt Wiebe, and the reaffirmment for the Justice Center development in Dauphin, and presentation to all the AMM delegates about the progress of that project. So it was very nice to see that, again, being publicly acknowledged by the provincial government and by the minister while he was doing a presentation on something that was related but not about infrastructure developments. I just want to also acknowledge that I've received a couple of queries through just personal contacts and stuff about the tree giveaway. So there seems to be quite a lot of interest with that. So contact City Hall, go to the website, and again, get information about that. I'm wearing the Kings jersey today only because breathed a sigh of relief last night, and Deputy Mayor Laughlin has assured me that there will be a Game 7 in Dauphin. Well, he didn't necessarily assure me. I may be putting words into his mouth, but I do have a bet like the fire chief does with the fire chief in the paw. Mayor Andre Murphy reached out to me at the start of the series, and I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And so I'm hoping I'm not wearing a Manitoba North, what are they called? The Northern Manitoba Blizzard jersey at an upcoming council meeting. And then finally, in regards to the neighborhood cleanup that both Councillor Daly and Ray indicated, that if every person who lived in Dauphin picked up one piece of trash a day on their walk outside to their car on the street, we would collect over 3.1 million pieces of trash a year. And so it's just interesting to note that oftentimes the general public is waiting for Public Works and the Communities in Bloom crew and the DRS crew. But if everyone would just take a bit of a moment to bend down and pick up that can or that bottle or that wrapper and deposit it in the local trash bin that's on just about every corner in downtown Dauphin, we would pick up over 3 million pieces of trash a year. So it's just something to keep in mind, that we can all play a small role in helping make Dauphin a great community. And with that, I will call for the question regarding the council reports. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion is carried and moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin and seconded by Councillor Ray that the council meeting be recessed at 5:50 p.m. All in